Hey, yo, man, what time is it? You know what time it is, man. 2 a.m.? Yeah, man. Man, you know what? What's that? It's 8:46, bro. Wow, that's deep. Yeah, you know what time that is. Yeah, man. Nappy head? Yo. Funk Army. What's up? Stand up. Get it live, y'all. Yo, drop that beat. You know what we gotta do. Yeah, man. We bringing this funk just for you. Repeat after me. Say, you don't have to be the best, just gotta outlast the rest. You don't have to be the best, you don't, just gotta outlast the rest. You don't have to be the best, just gotta outlast the rest. You don't have to be the best, just gotta outlast the rest. United we stand, divided we fall. Should our backs ever beat against the wall, we'll be together until the jam is done. I'ma say that again for you. United we stand, divided we fall. Should our backs ever beat against the wall, we'll be together until the jam is done. Here we go, y'all. Now let me tell you a little story about United We Stand. It says we're gonna funk across this funkless land. We gon' stand up and let our voices be heard. We ain't gonna let nobody stop us from spreading the spiritual word. The ruthless corporate greedy don't give a damn about the needies. We need everybody in the house to join us on this one, alright? Y'all say, united we stand, divided we fall. Should our backs ever beat against the wall, we'll be together until the jam is done. Are y'all out there? You feeling me? United we stand, divided we fall. Should our backs ever beat against the wall, we'll be together until the jam is done. Yeah. Check. 1, 2, 1, 2. United we stand, divided we fall. Funkin' with the poor people most of all, as they poison our mind with food control. Third eye is wise, sacrifice. Wake up and see what they doing to you and me. Keeping a separate product of Illuminati, like the jail cell did my boss John Gotti. Dirty politics and high-priced prostitution reside in all the important positions. Just look around at the injustice in the world. Some forced to live in a deplorable conditions. Watch us, watch what we do. This rap is coming up just for you. So sit back, relax, check out our phone calls. The nappy hip hop army always bumping in your drum. Twitter, tweet, TikTok. The ruthless corporate greedy don't give a damn about the needy. A movement, genocide and homicide is happening all around the world. Promise me this, promise me that, when all the fat cats stabbing us in the back. Man, get off my back, bro. Killing me. Let me see you wave your hand. We all wanna take a stand. Rise up against the corporate man. Let me head all across this land. Oh yeah.
What up? What up? What up? Yes, 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 yes. This is that was kind of like uh fortuitous 2 years ago when we kind of put that together. But you know, this particular month, and I have next to me one of the most beautiful people I know, Linda Scheider, and she's always on the show a lot, supporting, and shout out to Cindy K Lane out there. Love you. Thank you so much. You're definitely a cool sponsor to have, and we're going to get some of your music going too. And I know you listen, so I love you, sweetie. And Tim Kinley's supposed to be here today. Al Rashad's coming on today. My dog Shindig
all
from
the big
Massachusetts is
G's,
coming in today. Jeff
all
Rose
the
is supposed to
big
pop
G's.
in today.
Yeah.
Kevin Harrington's supposed to pop in today. Cheryl Woodhouse may send something. Plus all the other people, groovy people that are going to be around for the next month. I'm gonna try to really focus on you guys and try to get every single person I can that ever did the show to pop in. So for that, I want to say thank you. This is going to be a little bit different. No real commentary. We're just going to focus on all the good stuff we learned and shared. And I want to, say from personally, Mark Lee and I talk about this all the time. And sometimes Linda's, privy to some of the stuff we talk about the show, and how it's really kind of cool the way it all came together. My dog Kevin Harrington, maybe I can get him on and he can tell the story too. So any anniversaries, any birthdays, shout out Kayla Maya Mackay Robertson. Kayla Mackay Robertson. I always get you mixed up with your sister. Kayla Mackay Robertson. I know you turned 21 yesterday, so happy birthday. I love you, love you, love you, love you. Happy birthday. And also, my youngest daughter, Maya, also had a birthday in March 22nd. So she turned 17. So I love you guys, And also my son down in Georgia, he's 46 now. So I love all three of you guys with all my heart. And just know that Dad is doing everything that you saw him do years ago. Just funking. All right, got that out the way. Also, thanking the creator.
Well, I came in to visit, my dear.
Huh?
Just came in to visit. I just wanted to wish you a very happy anniversary. 5 years.
Okay, I didn't know.
The front seat. I can't stay long. I just wanted to say I love you.
So go ahead. Yeah.
Very cool things. So I just want to send you all my love. Have a great show, and I will see you on the backside.
There you go. Thank you. I appreciate you. Linda Scheider. I'm talking all over. I didn't even know. I thought you was hanging for a minute. No, you did tell me you had to roll, though. I appreciate you. And we're going to clip that and save that. Linda Scheider, Funk Hall of Famer, her husband Gary Scheider, and all the great work she does. Actor, actress, activist, much love. Thank you.
Thank you.
Peace out.
Peace.
Yes. Y'all can tell I'm jacked today. So, yeah, man, I'm really happy because I actually moved the past 2 weeks. So anybody that ever moved before know what that's about. So, yeah, that's why I'm like super jacked. I haven't really had much sleep, that kind of thing. So, we had a lot of groovy people on, man, and a lot of people were, helping me push this thing along when it first got started, right? And that was mad cool. Mark is a major influence, and Kevin Harrington, like I said, and people that encouraged the show. So it's really, really cool. Shout out to Q&A, Otis. I love you, Q Dog, man, for hooking me up, with the swag. So when I get out there, my Riz is popping, no cap. You feel me? So I'm kind of loving that. Yeah, man. So 5 years, like, wow. I say that to myself sometimes. 5 years. So many things have happened. So many adventures and so many, highs and lows in the world. And I'm just grateful to God that he allowed this little thing to continue for 5 years. Something that popped up in my head, came to fruition. And it's like sometimes I get overwhelmed by it, not because I'm trying to crunch numbers, because if anybody knows me, they know one thing about me. I don't care about numbers in this or in the music game. I never did, and I never, ever will. I make music, they dig it. I make podcasts, they dig it. That's it. It's for me, I've made it quite simple for myself. I've become a minimalist, and I guess I was always like this because I actually just love to play music and be around it and do that thing. And then I actually love to just communicate with people and share different stories and ideas and things like that. A good friend of mine, Jen Vanderput, and I was talking to her about, I might be moving or something like that. And she's like, I'd be missed. And that really touched my heart. I love you, Jen, because I know you be listening. Thank you for saying that. I just want to make a difference, as we all do. We all want to matter in some way, shape, or form in someone's life. Shout out to Sonia down there in Texas and Brenda Enzo. I know y'all are like in Mexico, so y'all have a top good morning. That's all mad cool. And see, I know you're around somewhere, so that's cool. Appreciate that. Yes, it's been really cool. And Alice here. Hold on, let me bring my dog on from Florida. He's just popping in. I know he's got a cigar. What up, bro?
What's good with you?
Huh? What up,
How you
man?
doing? Good, man. Good.
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for rocking, popping in and
Absolutely.
Some of your music we've shared on the show, and just tell me like your thoughts on this being our 5th year anniversary, bro.
It's amazing, man. It's funny. I remember when you first started, and you're actually in the front seat of your car. So it's been
right.
Amazing.
Right.
The elevation.
I forgot about that. I did. I did. I forgot. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah. You have a
Keep
story.
me humble.
Yeah, and the conversations, the topics that you come through with are amazing, and it's just only getting better. So congratulations to you and Chris.
Yo, man, it's when COVID first hit, right, and we were all in that thing, that craziness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was trying to do something, right? And I was like, man, what can I do?
Mm-hmm.
And I called Kevin, and he said, you'll never know until you try it,
Mm-hmm.
And then I knew Mark was like, into the production and doing a lot of things. And between those two, man, we was able to really kind of, think about how we could do it. And then who else? I tell you what, I called Philly Phil down in Texas. I spoke to him, and I called Keith Jackson from P-Funk Radio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the reason why I called them is because I was trying to find a time slot that didn't interfere with their shows. Because I knew it was like the whole funk movement that I wanted to capture with the concept. And I know Philly Phil, he's now on P-Funk Radio, but he's like on a Tuesday night. And then I know Keith, all week long, but his specialty is Friday night stress release party. And then I knew Gabe was on a Wednesday night, and then I knew Larry Funkster Jones at the time was coming in on a Saturday night. So I was like, you know what, maybe. And then I talked to Mark about it, and I said, because I only wanted Mark to kind of do the production in, because I knew he would make it work. And I said, would 12 o'clock in the afternoon work? And he was like, yeah, that'd be good. And then I thought about it. I was like, that might not be a bad slot. Right? I was like, people might be just getting up. They might not be out yet. I said, the West Coast, it'll still be 9 o'clock in the morning. So, God help me, and the universe helped me figure it out, right? And I was like, okay, let's give it a whirl. And here we are, McMahon and Tate. We ran up the flagpole. So here we are, man. Yo, how is your new thing doing down there? Because I know you was working with this girl for a while. How's that going?
She's been like so many projects and so many different females I've been kind of working with. The first one, she did a really nice job. I wanted to do a reimagination of one of the songs, but her voice was too pretty for the song I was trying to, make happen. I needed a little more chicken grease in it,
Yeah.
So I had to, put that to the side. And then, everybody else, you say you want to do something and they don't take you seriously or seriously enough. Is something coming up or, I can't get the studio or whatever. you know.
Yeah.
And so I just keep it moving. I'm like, okay, I asked you, you know, you had a shot at this or whatever, so I'll just move on.
Yeah. I don't blame you because you know your mindset. We came up with the same thing. You and
Mm-hmm.
I played in the same bands and that kind of thing, and you know, and still doing it, still working together, man. And that I, yeah,
Yeah.
I, looking over you there and seeing you next to my hi-hat side, it was like, okay, it's almost
Yeah.
like Joe Montana knew he had Jerry Rice over there. You know what I'm saying? He never had to worry. It was everything over everything else. But I know over here it's good, you know? Yeah, man. You know, people like yourself and Kevin Harrington and, you know, some of the people as lifelongers, I call Funk Army
Mhm.
soldiers, lifelongers, man. Y'all enlisted for life. Y'all was not lying because you guys have helped me put out some pretty good stuff. So I
Hey,
gotta say thank you.
I'm just appreciative that you add me to the project and let me just play on it.
Oh, you
So
kidding me,
that's
bro?
an honor. That's an honor, bro.
Yo, tell it's a blessing, bro. Because all I got to do is just stay out of the way. Sit on the sidelines with the thing and just pretend I'm coaching. I ain't got to do nothing. Throw the ball out there and y'all be on it. So that's one of the ways I think God has blessed me, you know, over the years, to keep family able to work with family, you know, and it's working out pretty good, man. It's working out pretty good.
That's good. You know what I laugh about, man? Remember we'd be in Just Garage practicing, right? And I'm playing, and you're like, "Hey, you're playing too much." Leave some of the notes for the next song.
Right. Save a couple. Save a couple. Score too many runs in the first inning. Open too much shit, troop. You'll be tired in an hour.
You're like, what else can I do on this?
Yo, I tell you, my mentor, Howard Beeman, right?
Mm-hmm.
In my basement, we used to practice, and we was learning standing on the verge of getting it on. Like, you know, and this dude stopped me like 6 times in a row. That's not it, right? And then we tried again. That's not it, right? He just like, no, stop. Too much hi-hat. Not enough foot. Not enough foot and hi-hat. More foot and less hi-hat. You know, he grilled me. So that's where I got it from. It's not my fault, bro. I got grilled by some of the best in the business back then. Bobby Threadgill, he played in the marching band, and he was the drummer. That's why I always told you I spent the sticks for him, right? And he was like, he said, nah, man. He said, he taught me, rest his soul. He taught me one of the most valuable things I could have ever learned, how to learn a song.
Right.
He taught me how to learn. He said, you're listening to everything. He said, that'll come. He said, first get your part, then go back and then put your parts with the bass player. And then think about it in terms of, okay, now you guys are the foundation for the guitar and the keys. And then that's the orchestra that everybody sings to. And he taught me how to do that. Because when I used to listen to songs, I could hear all the parts. But sometimes drum parts, especially back then, you couldn't really hear what they were playing. You know, because of the recordings. You had to really, and a lot of times, yeah, I could be faking it. But when I got with the cats, they was like, nah, man, you I don't know what you playing, but that ain't it. I can't tell you how many times I heard that. That ain't it. You know, believe me, I've been humble. And because of that, I just wanted to share that, because when you and Burn was coming up, I was like, these are some nasty young cats. I was like, where did Jeff get these cats from, man? You know what I'm saying? I said, these boys are into the jazz, Marcus Miller, and this and that. I said, yo, they can fly, you know? So
I appreciate it, man. And to this day, man, I still remember you said less is more.
Yeah, I can't tell you how much fun those days were.
Oh, wow. You know? It was a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun.
I told the story. You can elaborate. The time we went to Reverend Ike's church and rose up on the stage. Remember that? We went through the basement. The stage was in the basement.
I don't remember that one. It might have been Alan Griffin with you at the time.
No. You
was
was
me?
there.
Okay.
You was there because Bernie was there. It was the new
Okay,
1-to-1, and Gail and everybody was there.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I gotta think you was there. I don't think Griff, because this is when I was married to Diane.
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
Yeah, I remember that, but
Yeah. So if you remember that, you was there on that gig because Alan Griffin had left and I think went to down south to college or something.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all was there, man. Yeah, ask Jeff, he'll tell you. Anyway, we in Reverend Ike's church. This dude, right? Now, of course, Reverend Ike, we don't subscribe to him, but it was a good paying gig. And the stage rose like Earth, Wind, and Fire, pushed us all the way up. Because remember, Aaron was there as our roadie, Aaron and Pinky.
Gotcha, right.
Pinky and your sister was the vocals.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I thought to myself, wow, this dude got us rising up on the stage. And at the end, he was like, yo, play something. He just turned around to Jeff and said, play something. So Jeff started playing something, right? And I didn't kick the gospel. I started kicking the P-Funk beat. Like, make my fucking P. And Reverend I said, see, yeah, you can funk. And he was like going around talking about the money and everything. That's one of the fondest memories I have, bro. Because I thought to myself, oh, so this is all a big act too. It's all
right.
This is all showbiz. All right, great. I'm in the right spot then. You know, Mark. Oh, go ahead.
No, just real quick. That's why you should mention because I met this young lady, right, and we were exchanging phone numbers, and then she looks up and she says, "What's your name?" And I said, "You don't know my name?" It's Al. She's like, I know the name of your band, but I didn't know your name." So I said, my band is the Al Rashad Band. It's like, I could see if it was Earth, Wind, and Fire. That'd be
right. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That is funny. Your name is in the band. Right.
Stop lying.
People, you know what though? I'm telling you, I've met so many groovy people, you know, and those are the people that I gravitate to. But I've also met some people that just don't have a clue, man. And I just pray for them, you know, because people ask, like, it's hard to ask a veteran questions about something that came out in 1990 or 2000. Because I can't relate to it. And I instantly am going to tell them, no, the Chili Peppers got that from Stevie Wonder, Higher Ground. That's his song. Airplane. Right. That's his song. So let's hold up on that. You know, and I love it that I'm able to just give them that key to the next door. Because, you know, I had a young man, he's a nice kid, and we was talking about music guitar player, and I hipped him up, man. We had like a 40-minute ride. I dropped so much knowledge on this kid, right? He got in the right side, and then he got out on the left side. He said, because, bro, he said, I can't even go out that door no more. He said, I got to go out this door because you done dropped some knowledge on me. Because I told him the guitar players to seek out, you know, because he's into hard rock. And he said 70s and 80s, right? Nice kid, man. And his name is Victor or something like that. And I said, listen, I said, you know, I'm gonna shout you out. I said, because you're very receptive. And I said, you know, you're into this 80s classic hard rock. I said, yeah, your Van Halens and all them cats, they was the cats. I said, but you need to go back and really study what Ernest Isley was doing. Study what Jimi Hendrix was doing. Study what Eddie Hazel. He's like, who's Eddie Hazel? I said, exactly. I said, study Mike Hampton. Who's Mike Hampton? I said, exactly. I said, Blackbird, study these guys because they're the ones that took the Hendrix, you know, and then Stevie Salas as well. He didn't know that either. And they're the ones that took that Hendrix torch and ran with it. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, thank you. And then, you know, I told him about Mother's Finest. You know, I said, nah, man, check that out. So, you know, because he didn't really know. And if nobody tells him, how they gonna know?
There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
Yo, Mark, you back there?
Been back here the whole time listening to the YouTube, just getting on all that fine chat and hearing Albert Shard talking about all that craziness that he's got going on and all along those lines. So definitely seeing and checking y'all out. Great conversation going on back there. Y'all over there rolling in Reverend Ike's church and everything like that.
I'm telling you, bro. True story.
And then he's over there got his name in his band, is his name, and the woman doesn't know what's going on there. So I'm going like, wait a minute. Yes, I never can figure that out when you got the name in the
Right.
band going like, what's the name of the band? Who are you? It's like,
Who are you?
my name's in the band.
Do that, man. Yo, so I know I've been watching a lot more of your clips, and some of the things that you've been doing, and are you and John? Because I know you working with me. Just so y'all know, he's coming up. Virginia, so y'all be ready for that. And he's on the new stuff coming out, which is like light and fire. I might as well set the world on fire now because that's what it's gonna be about. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying. So, but see, they don't know. But John, my nephew, how's he doing, man? Because I see him doing like just bing bang, bing bang, bang, all over the spot, man.
Yeah, he's doing really well. He's with the that K-pop band out of Korea, obviously.
Yeah.
And they had a 1.5-year tour. So I haven't seen him. He's been out of the country. He's been in he just left South America, Brazil, and all of that stuff. And then they're in Japan for another couple of weeks. And then they start the American leg of the tour. So
yeah, man. So if they come through, tell them to let me know because Uncle Zach gotta be backstage watching my nephew do his thing. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, it's huge. I mean, those I didn't realize how big those Korean bands are, man. They're only doing only doing stadiums.
Oh yeah, that that's the new. I don't want to say, but remember when like the Chili Peppers and all those type of bands were coming out with that new sound. They thought was new with that, right? These K-pop bands, man, that music is captured a whole generation, that we can never even think about because it's you don't have to really think about it, and it's fun, it's wholesome, kind of like it gives people, it makes kids feel good. Because I study all different stuff. I watch everything extensively. I don't talk about it, but I watch because I want to see, hey, how is this happening? Is this a phenomenon? A one-off? You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy, man. I'm so happy because kids need that. Remember how we used to go to the Budweiser Fest and all of that? That's what I was trying to say. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Exactly what that is. And I'm happy, man. I'm good for them.
Like you said, the kids are really enjoying it and everything along those lines. I know that even when I'm, and that's one of my other jobs when I'm grading the test papers and all along those lines, that is a form of music that the kids are really into because they'll tell you about BTS and they'll tell you about some of the other K-pop groups that are out there. So it is definitely something that our young kids like my nephew's age and even younger than that are totally into. So it is definitely gone out there and become a very much popular style and everything like that. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, but it is definitely something that is getting the attention of our young ears.
Yeah, it's funny. They are machines, like their rehearsals are like 10 and 13 hours and everything is, to the T. They rehearse and I'm like, it's crazy. He's like, it's a job.
Yeah, yeah. And see, it's the business side of that is that it is a job, and that's the mentality I be trying to get people into. It doesn't matter where you are at your career, but you have to take it seriously to get the best out of it.
Exactly.
And it's funny, people. I say mailing it in. I'm sure you got your own term down there.
Same thing.
People have been mailing it in for 30 years.
Same.
Mailing it in. That's why I don't roll with that. People get upset with me, but I don't care because I get where like when I was hanging out with the P-Funk, right, and they were upstate, up in the hangar, and Sheila and Mike Hampton, all them, and George said it was cool, man. Them
Mhm.
cats was rehearsing at 10 o'clock in the morning
Yeah.
to like
Yeah.
4 in the afternoon,
It's a job.
10 to 4, whether they had a gig or not.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I was, and it really, you know, made me appreciate how much time went into stuff that you want to be perfect.
Mhm.
But you know what the funny thing is? In talking to John, we're having a conversation. It's like, you know, we think, or most musicians think, that you practice till you get it right. It's to be flipped. You practice till you can't get it wrong.
Oh, that makes sense.
Muscle memory. That's right. Yep. Muscle memory, man. Because our rehearsals, we used to rehearse like all the time with Jeff, you know, and it became muscle memory, you know. And that's, I think, a lot of people that kind of like are halfway in and halfway out, one foot in, one foot out. They're like, they don't want to put that time in anymore.
Right.
You know. And see, that's why when I'm recording, I only use you guys.
Yeah, that makes a
Spit
lot of
facts,
sense.
bro. I'm just spitting facts, man. I only use you because I know you got both feet in.
Sure.
Al, and this is for you, Zach, as well. There's an old saying that used to be out there for a while that I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts about it and everything, because it seems to me that in the music game, particularly the music game in the South here, there are bands that are made up of those that are professional and that are definitely geared toward professionalism, like folks like Zach, and there's a lot of weekend warriors and stuff like that. So they're only interested in being weekend warriors, and that's all they really want to do and everything like that. And then there's the old cliche that those that can do, those that can't teach, and everything like that. So I just wonder your thoughts around that, Al, because you do see a lot of people that are very much in the academic and the academic side of music, and they are very good at knowing the theories and everything like that, but they might not be good at the practical side of music as well. But I just wanted your take on that, Al, because I know that you're in both of those dimensions.
Yeah, it's a funny thing. There are two sides, and there's a lot of truth. Like, for instance, you find a lot of great players out there, right? But they come back to someone that they learned from that wasn't necessarily the player that they are, but had, you know, showed them how to get to where they were trying to get to. It's a weird thing. So there's a lot of that, and I appreciate, you know, both sides of the fence. You know, just like there are a lot of listeners that love music that don't play one instrument, but they know the history of the music way more than I do.
Right.
You know, so it's the academic side versus the, you know, okay, I want to play something and be creative or whatever. So
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. We had something like that here. There was a festival that talked about that academic side called Biscuit and Banjo, and it was talking about the folk side, because a lot of people don't realize how much the banjo and some of the instruments that are our instruments, meaning they came from Africa, influence a lot of quote unquote European music, whether it's classical or whether it's country or whether it's folk music and things like that. But they don't understand that history. So there was a lot of that history being taught at this particular festival that was this past weekend and everything right here in Durham and all along those lines. But I just wondering your take, Al, just on, because you're right, a lot of people even will take courses on music appreciation even when they're in college and everything like that. So as a professional musician, I was just wondering your thoughts about folks trying to get a better understanding of music appreciation. Was it an appreciation of funk or an appreciation of jazz? So what's your take on should more people do, should those kind of courses be more in the society is what I'm really asking.
I'm sorry, could you repeat it one more time? So
should we have more music education courses? Because I know even Zach used to be involved with that in a number of his businesses as well. Do you think that we're doing enough music appreciation just in terms of getting folks to understand the basics of music, even if they don't want to play?
Yeah, I mean, there can always be more of it. Just take like the jazz idiom, right? Music or jazz theory, right?
Yeah.
I had this thing where you know, I'm playing and I'm doing an okay job or whatever, but I felt like I had an imposter syndrome, right? Because I didn't really know what I was doing, and I didn't know why it worked. You know, so you learn and sit down and say, okay, why does this work or whatever? And it's just a theory, you know. It's not fact. It's a theory, you know, which most of it works out, right? And then the other side of it, you try things or whatever. Say, hey, like when you're trying to learn a lick or trying to learn something, whatever, right? And you make a mistake, and you're like, wait a minute, that sounds cool. I'm going to keep that for me. You know, that type of thing, or whatever. But yeah, there can always be, you know, more appreciation, in any genre, you know, essentially. I mean, for the longest I would rag on like the rappers or whatever, but there's a method to their madness too. There's, you know, a lot goes into that, you know. So I started appreciating them more.
Yep. Mark, we got a few shout outs.
Okay.
And that was a dope question. I just sent you something to download from Dr. Pamela Wilson, and George DeFunkovici's on. And thank you, George, because, you know, as the month goes by, I'm gonna make sure I get all you guys on, man. And, you know, and we're gonna just do it. George is actually responsible for some of this artwork back here, the flag on the funk, and, you know, I be rocking his stuff all the time, you know, and it's just funky, fresh, and fly. George DeFunkovici, this brother be on it and on it and on it, and he's continuing that legacy, and that's one of the beautiful things about that brother. Cindy, hi Cindy, how are you? Do people who play music and those who are musicians, passion and soul transcends theory. You know what? That's why we're gonna work together. Because you sent me those tracks, and I'm telling you, you know, God is opening up some doors for me, man. Believe me, you know, that woman and her crew over there, they got it. They know what's popping, you know, and I can't wait to get out to Seattle. Trust me, you know, we're working on that now. I want to leave that comment up a little bit longer, but yeah. So I think having all of these beautiful entities and spirits come to this platform, there's no better way I could spend a Saturday, you know, morning. You know, a couple of hours here, a couple of hours there, man. And I reminisce. So I'm going to take y'all back for a minute to one of our very first, to one of our very first, like, videos that we had in here, if I can find it, you know. And this is going to show, I guess, how long we actually been around. So y'all check some of these videos out. Hang tight. Anniversary month, Funk from the Front Seat, right here, 9 on the Grind TV. Mr. Rashad is here, and he's giving us that funky Florida funk.
Wiggle worm here, baby. Yeah, and I'd just like to say congratulations to my man Zach. Yeah, Club Funketeer number 9, keeping that funk on the shine for his 2nd year anniversary of his show, Funk from the Front Seat. It don't get no better unless you jump in the back seat and then jump back in the front seat on the one. Yeah, keep that funk alive.
Now that was 2 years ago, right? That was 2 years ago. And when Bootsy sent that, that's when I kind of knew. I was like, okay, they you know, when the someone from Mount Rushmore sees what you're doing down there, and then they also know that you into that funk thing as they are, and you continuing, and, you know, at that same time, you know, I was like a Club Funketeer ambassador, vice president, and I was like, you know, it's pretty. I don't want to say overwhelming, because I was grateful, but it was just pretty cool to know that people care enough about, you know, what I'm trying to give back, and then they're giving back in that way. And that's why, you know, for me, this has been like a huge blessing. It's like my church, if you will, you know, because as you all know, I've practiced Buddhism, but it's my church, if you will, man. And a lot of these people that you're going to hear are, you know, people that have supported me all throughout. And, you know, Cindy, you can send me a drop too. I appreciate that, because I know you're listening.
Hey fam, what's goody good? What's really good? My name is Jeff Roberson from the gospel group called Jeff Roberson and New Life. And I'm coming to you from the town that we had to name it twice. It's so nice. New York. And I'm bringing you some news about my brother from another mother, Brother Zach, who's bringing you his hot new show called Funk from the Front Seat. Listen, he's bringing you funk from the vault, from the past, from the present, and into the future. He's got that music that makes the hair on the back of your neck rise up. He's bringing you funk all the way down to your toes. This is that funk that makes you really want to groove. Stay tuned. Don't touch that dial as he brings you funk from the front seat. Listen, let's go.
Royal Funk fans, this
Jeff plays on a lot of my stuff, and one of my mentors, and you know, doing big things in the gospel field. Jeff Roberson, The New Life. Go to his site, go to his page, check it out. Jeff, it was actually a mentor to both me and this brother, because as the things that Al and I were doing, Jeff would have this way of like, okay, we riding it like max 90 now. And yo, yo, mind blown, bro. Yeah. Wow. I listen to that periodically.
Oh yeah, I still do, man.
I listen to it periodically, man, and I'm like, okay, for its time, you know, we was into something different, you know, we was into something different. That just freaked me out because I'm like,
that is familiar.
That was brilliant, bro. That was brilliant. I was just gonna say there was times when we'd be at max 90, and then Jeff would look over at us and shift it to overdrive. It was like, yo, remember we used to be doing Night in Tunisia, right? At Chaka, right? We did that version, and I used to really just want to stop and just watch him play that break. Cause I was like, there's no sense in me playing, you know, because I want to see what he's doing, how he does that, man. But that's really cool. I thought about that the other day. I was like, yo, that was pretty slick that we was playing Chaka Khan's version back then.
Ahead of the time, man.
Yeah, man. That's man, cool, man. We're hanging out today, Funk from the Front Seat anniversary show, man, and we're gonna be doing this all month. You know, get some of the forefathers on and talk about some stuff they did. I wanted to show y'all this little clip from a friend of mine out on the West Coast, Lisa Love.
Royal Funk fans, this is Lisa Love, aka Alpha Unk Omega, coming to you from Love's Temple here in Southern California, inviting you to 9 on the Grind, Funk from the Front Seat with Zach Robinson. This is what I want you to do for me. Tune in every Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Come join the meeting of minds. I guarantee soul's growth and high vibrations, not to mention the love. Keep it funky, y'all.
Here he is, the man, the myth, and the legend. What up, Dick?
What is happening, sir? Can you hear me?
It's all good, bro. Thank you for joining our anniversary month, man. Appreciate you, man.
Absolutely. I had to be a part of this wonderful moment and thing that's going on.
Yeah, man. For those of you popping on, I don't know if you ever met Al. Al, this is Dig Deep, one of my mentors from New York.
Sir, how are you, sir?
Him and myself and Milo Z trying to get something popping. And this brother right here, I watched him before I put Nappy Head together at the wetlands. I used to be standing right underneath you, watching you. That's how much you mean to me, bro.
Thank you, sir.
That's how much you mean to me. I'm telling you, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have did that band.
Wow.
I wouldn't have did it because you gave me inspiration to prove that it could be done.
Yeah,
at that level. Yeah, man. And I always tell you that story, bro. I tell you that. I'm gonna tell that story to the day I'm no longer here. You know, because it's important for people to know how things start. You know,
yes,
and
sir.
Where you get your inspiration from. Yeah, Al's a bass player, and Al, this brother here, he was jamming so hard and leaning and singing like that, right? I blew my mind how he was like literally digging deep. We get ready to run.
Al, what kind of bass do you play? What kind of bass you play, Al?
Well, a couple. The Fender Jazz, Marcus Miller.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And I have a friend that's in Atlanta, and he's a luthier, so he built me a six string. So, how about you?
Yeah, Fender Jazz. That was a thing for me. You know, Verdine played one, and it's like if Verdine's playing it, I'm playing it. And you know, I did like the precision basses because Marshall Jones from the Ohio Players played one.
Oh, okay.
But the sound, I preferred the sound of the jazz bass. It was smooth. Like I could get any kind of sound out of it. And I like the fact that the neck towards the head of it thins out.
Yes,
You know, so and I mean, playing a Fender Jazz made me feel like Verdine, made me feel like Larry, made me feel like Jermaine. You know, it's like a lot of greats played the jazz bass, and I wanted to be a part of that lineup. You know,
That's it. I chased the Marcus Miller sound. Zach could tell you.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
For real, I was into Marcus before I even knew who Marcus was. He was telling me, "Yo, Marcus Miller's the guy." I was like, "Nah, Skeet's the guy." We used to go back and forth, and
right.
you were right. We were both kind of right, but you was on Marcus, man.
Yeah. A lot of great bass players out there, man. I mean, it's just like, even although I started on classical guitar, I loved bass. Bass was it. And, when I think when I saw the Jackson 5, that was the first time I'd seen a teen group or vocal group with bass and guitar. So whatever the Beatles meant to people before me, that's what the Jackson 5 meant to me. And I was like, oh, I got to play guitar or bass, And that's the way it's been ever since, man. And then, of course, when it came to just groups, grew up with the Ohio Players, Earth, Wind and Fire, Isley Brothers, as the 3 top tier groups from the 70s. That was my total inspiration. And Sly kind of came later for me. And it's been Sly ever since. Nobody else more. It's been Sly and the Family Stone.
I was gonna say, who a lot of people sleep on? That cat from Brainstorm. I think it was the guy from Brainstorm. You remember that group? Brainstorm.
Oh yeah, yeah.
A lot of people
Journey Through the Light was one of my favorite albums back then.
That's the one. Yes.
And see, I got a chance to meet Belita and talk to her, and I asked her about that, and she said the industry didn't want them putting out messages about God. That's why they had to switch over to that disco. She told me the story.
Okay.
She said Journey Through the Light was about God. Listen to the words. It's about the light, going to God. And she said that hit so hard, it scared the industry. And the industry said the next song y'all put out, you got to do a disco song.
Wow.
That's how that happened. Yeah, man. Belita was so dope. I was hanging out with her in the P-Funk because she sang with them later. But she was I was in her apartment. She was frying fish for us, making food, collard greens, cornbread, frying fish. So down to earth. And I adored her. She had a glow around her. I was like, can you please tell me about Journey Through the Light? She's like, oh yeah, baby, I tell you. They didn't want us to, I'm serious, yo. And then when she passed away, it kind of touched me in a way, It touched me in a way.
Well, now we know what the crimes of the industry have been for the longest time. So we're not surprised that these are not messages they want. I mean, I remember reading back I read within the last several years, I think out of Maurice White's book, that when they had released Mighty Mighty, the only reason that the record companies didn't promote it because they thought it was a song about the movement of Black people. And it was too spiritual. When actually the song was just about for anybody that we worship the sun, God, but they didn't want that up there. Or else maybe they could have had a top 10 hit earlier than Shining Star. But the industry, wasn't having it. And a lot of people don't realize that as great the music that Earth, Wind and Fire put out, they went through a lot of racism behind the scenes, man. Things that we didn't know. If we had known those stories that we know now when we were kids, I don't know, we probably would have thought twice about being musicians, because it's presented as something that is wonderful and attainable, but you got to work ass off, man. It's it can set you up for a lot of sadness you know.
Yep.
And
You
you
know
really
what's
just
funny?
have to depend on your love. Yes, sir.
To piggyback on what y'all was talking about, right? It's like, and then I want to run some new music, man. Because Al, when you get a chance, go look up Dig Deep. But he sent me something new to run. But remember when the Doobie Brothers did that song, "Jesus Is Just All Right with Me"? Jesus
Yes.
is just
Oh God, I haven't
all
heard
right
that in
with
decades.
me. Jesus is just all right with me. It was a B B B C D E F side, and the only way I knew about that song is when I listened to the album.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because it was on the same album with Long Train Running, and that was the hit. And when we heard that song, because remember we did an interview in a radio station where Gail used to work, and she opened up with that song. See, I got memory like a steel ball.
Okay.
Bro. Remember Gail, your sister? And then we did the one-to-one interview.
Yeah, yes, man.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. Somehow I can't remember where I put my keys, but I can remember 70 years ago. And I can tell you the song, the time, who's in the interview. Go figure. It's too bad I can't make money off this memory. But yeah, man, it's funny. Now we can put out all the spiritual funk we want.
Mm-hmm.
They can't do nothing about it. Yo, wait. Tell us a little bit about this, Dig, this new one. Awesome. And also thank you for joining our anniversary, man. Appreciate you.
Sure, man. Is this the one that I sent you? Awesome.
Yes.
Is that the track? It's really
yes,
just about, it's really just about free speech. Just being able to say what you want to say, think what you want to say, sing what you want to say, or sing what you want to sing. And, you know, it's repetitive and it's a groove. And I just want to keep something simple, you know, and it's actually setting up the new album that I'm trying to bring out hopefully in the next month or two.
Yeah.
Nice.
And don't worry, I didn't forget about you and Milo and myself, you know, because I'm working on trying to shoot this video down here and get the funding for that, and then put this other track I got coming out. But then after that, I'll have time to dig in deep and with you and Milo, and then also work with Cindy too. Yeah. So y'all check this out, man. This is my dog, man. One of my mentors and one of my favorite people in life. I love this brother above and beyond the music, as well as the way I do Al Rashad. He's my family. So y'all.
Say what you wanna say. You can say anything that's so.
funky. That is
You
funky.
be on ones. Woo! Yeah, you, bro, you be on one, man. Yo, congrats on that.
Yeah,
That's
congrats.
Thanks,
like,
man.
yeah, you sent me that the other day, and I pumped that up in my car, and I was just at the gas station, and people, yo, you be on one, bro. Congrats
Thank you,
on
bro.
that.
Thank you.
That has all the
Thank you,
elements
sir.
of the dig deep that I know. You know,
Thanks,
that you
man.
can do, man. So
Yeah,
appreciate
definitely.
that, man. Appreciate
Congrats on
that.
that.
Yo, so here's what I wanted to ask you guys. You guys are both, you know, in the game and doing your thing out there. And George, I'm rocking your brim now. You know, I was trying to wait to halftime to get this rock, George the Funk Vinci collection, you know, and I was blessed to get this by Cindy K. Lane. So God is, you know, working some magic for me. Let me see what Mark. Oh, we got some comments. Okay. Yeah, here's a comment from George Shindig, you know, some of that like out the box funk.
Oh, man.
Out the box funk. You know, George, and George knows now because he's an artist and a musician himself. So he knows. Yeah, he's right where the mothership is, and he gonna be coming on next week, and we get him and Hector and the
Oh,
people
nice.
down there in Texas. Yeah, that's my
Nice.
dog down there. Yeah, man. That, you know, I was gonna ask you guys with us having the opportunity now to we lost Shindig. Okay, he'll be back. With us having the opportunity now to Al tell our story about 2025, you know, and how we're gonna write this chapter of the music game. I think we're all in a great position. I really do. I'm so optimistic about what we can do as artists. You know, how about you?
Well, we definitely have a story to tell. You know?
Yes.
So you know how we always like have our little sidebars and just crack up about what's going on, you know, politically. Yeah. So it's weird because it's almost you have to wait it out, you know, type of thing or whatever. Because everybody's like, okay, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? You know, what's the next craziness? You know, that's going to happen or whatever. And you don't want to jump the gun, right? And tell your story through song or whatever. You could do that, you know, but you want to, you know, let it play out and then reflect on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shin, I was asking the question with us. I think I'm such a glass half full person right now because I think as artists, there is no better time for us to put pen to paper and get stuff out.
Yeah.
Or artwork or whatever, because it's wide open for us now. We have so much to talk about.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I think it's I think that's definitely so. I think a lot of us have been forced to be independent probably for the last 25 years. And I think I know for me, I felt like being independent was because I couldn't get a record deal or got tired of trying, but it's actually helped me to express myself in any which way I can, you know, and because record companies tend to, and especially with African-American artists, corral you. You can only do this, you can only do that. It happens in hip hop, it happens in R&B, in the business. With us, we are able to express whatever we want to say. And definitely today, there's material all around us.
Yeah.
We have everything to write about, and we have to write about things that matter. You know, we have to be part of a new movement, a new SNCC, a new kind of music civil rights movement. You know, we really have to write about things that matter. And the first thing that we have to do is that we have to say that within our culture, there are a lot of great things happening, but there's a lot of bad behavior, and we have to address those things because they're just there, you know. But to answer your question in a greater way is just the material is there, and we are very fortunate to be in that position to do so.
Yeah.
And whereas once upon a time we had to go to studios that cost $150 an hour, $200 an hour. You know, you have to record at midnight if you want a cheaper rate, and tapes were this large and all stuff. We have everything in front of us. All we need to do is apply ourselves and do it. Keep doing the music no matter what, no matter how bad you feel.
Thank you.
Do it. Be Prince. You know what I mean? Just get in there. Just do it. Put it out. Don't judge it. And get into it and step away from it. Move on to the next thing. And I would say to a lot of people who are independent artists, because it's not easy doing your own material. Don't judge it. Do it like you run for office. You get the votes, you do the work, and then you put it out there and you let the people vote.
Yeah.
Give the music as soon as you can to the people and move on to the next thing, because you never know when the next thing will be the thing. So just keep doing it. No matter how badly you feel, put that music out.
You know, you said that so eloquently and touched on a lot of things that, you know, the three of us as like-minded beings and spirits are constantly thinking about. Because again, before you had popped in, you know, we were talking, and I'll tell you about commitment to excellence. You know, I have a commitment. You have a commitment to excellence. Al has a commitment to excellence. And and see, as gatekeepers now, I think we're trying to put this example out that, listen, just keep doing what you do. You know, and it's funny you said that, because that's exactly how I felt and was trying to hip a young brother the other day about, you know, just do, you don't overload. And me, you know how we are as artists, we hate our stuff all the time. You know, there's always like, you know, it's crazy. We in our own head more than anybody.
Yeah.
We are, man.
Once that's
God's
put
true
it out,
little joke to us.
It is. It really is.
It is, bro.
And you know, that's why I would tell everybody, if you love music, make as much music as you can. Because the great thing to feel is like, if you, let's say for instance, you've done 6 or 7 albums of music, and somebody says, when's the last time you listened to your first album? It's a blessing to say, wow, you know what? I haven't listened to that in like 4 years because I moved on. That is kind of a plus to what you're doing. You know, let people listen to your music. Don't get caught up in your first track. It's like trying to make something work that probably didn't pop off. It may pop off, but today is today and then was then. You know, and you got to make music for Saturday. Was it the 3rd or 4th? This is when you need to be concerned about. You know, make that music today. All the thoughts that are going on in your head, that's material.
Yeah, it's funny.
Those are songs.
Cause see, right now I'm getting it like, okay, the three of us have to collab. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, I can feel you, big man. Don't worry, I got you. Cause I'm like, there's always other people to work with to bring in different tools and ideas, and that's to me. I'm a builder. I've always liked to build. I get so much joy in having a band start from scratch and building it.
Yeah.
You know, I almost get more joy in that than I actually do doing a show, because when you're building, it's like a blank canvas, and you can just be like, plug it, you know, like a Rubik's Cube, you know? And that's why, like, you guys are important to me. You know, that's one of the reasons why I do this show. I wanted to introduce new music as well as topics and conversation. And, you know.
And, you know, it also really frees up your mind to get the material out, to not have it in there. You know, I've always imagined our brains as like the old kind of pie chart of the hard drive that we used to see on an old computer. You know, when it would tell you how much memory you have left and everything. And you got to clean up your hard drive. The one that's in your head, you just got to clean it up. So whatever you're thinking, lay it down and don't get petty. Don't get so hung up on the song like this isn't right and this isn't right. People will get it. And I always tell people, when you listen to your material, if you're not wincing like, oh, I need to change that or something. If you're not wincing anymore, then it's done.
Yep.
Put it out and let the people decide and move on to the next thing. You know, the next thing will be better. You will make something better. But unfortunately, I know a lot of my colleagues and friends who are doing material spend maybe like 5 years on 1 or 2 songs because they get hung up. This isn't right. And they're in their way. And that's one of the things that musicians have to remember. There's one thing I had to remember. Get out of your own way.
Yep. That's why this comment that Cindy made earlier, I wanted to read. There's a big difference between people who play music and those who are musicians. Passion and soul transcends theory. And that is perfectly said. I'm going to keep that, lock that in. That's perfectly said, Cindy. Thank you for that. Because again,
sir, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Cindy. But I know Zach was finishing, but I do have a quick question for you, but I'm not trying to interrupt Zach on his show.
No, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say hello before.
No, I appreciate it. Chindig, one of the things that you said earlier, and I'd love to hear your thoughts about it, because there seems to be a movement afoot and everything along those lines in terms of folks that are concerned about a lot of things going on in society. And we know historically that music has played a role in that, whether it was Woodstock or whether it was Wattstock or a number of other things. So I was just wondering, what role do you see music playing in the resistance movement? Because I think there is a resistance movement that is starting to develop in the United States and around the world. What role do you see music and entertainment playing in that resistance movement?
It's definitely happening. Let me think for a second. It definitely is playing a role. It needs to be on a platform. Hopefully something divine will bring it to a platform where everyone will see. And in that instance, since you mentioned Woodstock and Wattstacks, those 2 platforms brought everything that was happening before into one place where everyone could see what was happening. And that hasn't happened yet, but I feel like it's coming. When it comes, I hope to be a part of it.
Same.
And
we
if
will
it's
be
presented on stage, I hope to be one of the players on stage with it. You know, something
We're gonna
that
be.
And hopefully it is something. Hopefully, it is a song that is chosen that will carry the message. But I think something's coming. It's been happening for a long time, because we're like we've been the new record company, but without the business and all that other stuff. You know, it's like when something else has hit the ceiling, something else is happening. So this is a new underground. And all the people that were forced to be independent musicians, not by choice, but because we were shut out.
Yeah. And also too. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, please.
No, I was just saying
that,
you know,
something's brewing.
Yeah.
And it's going to happen. I think the only thing is that we have to be sure that our eyes are wide open and we recognize it, or we'll pass it through. Or it will pass us by. And the thing is that, no, just one more thing. Whenever it comes, however it's happening, we have to treat it. It has to be filled with dignity, integrity, and character. It cannot be cheap. It cannot be immoral. It has to raise up this new movement. It has to be a part of that, because we've seen other things where listen, you want to write degrading music, that's fine.
Yeah.
But it never usually is a happy ending.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like if we really want to rise up and do something really well, We have to keep our music positive. We have to put Muhammad Ali in there. We have to put King in there. We have to put Malcolm in there. Whomever.
Yeah.
Our music has to reflect something that inspires kids, because they don't even have music programs.
Yeah.
So we have to be their music program. But they got to look up to us.
That's
they can't look down on us.
And what I was going to add to that is that in addition to it happening, we have to make it happen ourselves. Like we have to say, okay, everybody we know that got something, bring it to the table now. Everybody keeps their own.
Which is what I think we're doing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. So we're actually actively doing it. And they're not really paying attention, but they are. That's why they be ripping us off on Spotify. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother show.
Did I answer your question, Mark?
You did answer the question. I was just going to say really quickly, this is actually going to be the anniversary of the March on Washington. That's coming up in August as well. So it'll be the March on Washington took place in 2000.
I don't want to get into any commentary, Mark. No, this is about the anniversary here. I get that. We'll get into that, but we're going to leave that energy out. Today is about.
I was actually going to tie it to the entertainment, Zach, because what I was going to say is just what Shindig said, which is if you go to the March on Washington, it was the entertainers that actually were the voice of that March on Washington.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
That was the Woodstock of the civil rights movement at that time.
That's the point I was trying to make.
Yeah. I got you. But what I was going to say is like what we're actually trying to do here, and what we want to focus on with the independent artists, because those were major artists. So they got invited to do that. The Aretha Franklins and the Sidney Poitiers and the Stevie Wonders of the world. They were already mainstream major. We have to start our own grassroots. Shakori Hills is playing right over here in North Carolina. We played it last year. They won't have us back on this year. They said we're in a 3-year rotation. Yet I looked at the list and I seen some of the same bands. So it's a lot of nepotism and a lot of politics with this stuff. That's why what Shindig is saying with our political mindset, that's why I'm putting out a political song, because I want people to know, listen, I'm paying attention. I don't need you. Hold on, we got Kev coming in.
Yes,
What's up, bro? How you doing?
What's good?
What's good, man? Thank you for joining us. I know you're grinding. Thank you.
Yeah, just want to pop in real quick, say what's up. What's up, everybody?
Hey, Mr. Harrington, how you doing?
All good.
Good.
What you been up to, man?
Good.
Grinding, man. You know what it goes. Same thing.
Yeah. Kevin is we go way back.
Okay.
We go, and he actually is on my new stuff, the one I'm gonna send you after the show, Dave, for you to check out. Yeah, I ain't putting it out yet, but I'll let you hear it.
Please.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that with what Mark was saying, is kind of like there's been this resurgence with Sly and the Family Stone. You know, they came up, what's his name? Questlove came out with the movie and everything.
Yeah.
No matter what Sly has been through, that's how important Sly and his group have been. They won't go away, and they're just not there because they were popular. They're there because of the things that Sly said. It mattered. So it supersedes all the things you want to say about him, the drugs and all that. It doesn't matter. It matters who he was at that time and what he meant to music and to people. His band was the face of America. And he was very sincere about what he did. So as a movement, we are hoping that we can be a part, that we can have that platform, that coming up for air thing. But the content of the music has to matter.
Yeah. What's funny though? If you think about it, some of his hits, the bigger ones, they were only 3 minutes and 23 seconds long. He was the original cat. That was like, a song is only going to be like, now they copied that, but it's all crap. Because Want to Take You Higher, Stand, Have Fun in the Summertime. You know, when those songs, I don't know, Kev, your thoughts, because I know they hit me in a certain way where I dropped a tear when I heard Have Fun in the Summertime.
Oh, that's my end of the spring, and then she comes back. Hi.
Right.
That was my summer, man. That's why I related to the tune. That was like a perfect verses of what my summer was as a kid.
Yeah.
Real.
Yeah.
I know Sly was very thoughtful, very, very thoughtful.
Yo, he had such
Where
a
did Mark? Where
Yeah,
did Mark and the other gentleman go?
Who?
Wasn't there another? I forgot his name.
Oh yeah,
The other gentleman
Al.
I just
People are
met?
gonna be popping in and out, so it's just we
okay.
just
All right,
we ain't doing a regular show. It's just about reminiscing, talk about
Oh, I
anniversary.
see. Okay.
Kev,
Got it.
we got a few videos I want to show, but Kev, I don't know how long you have, but I know I got some of your stuff loaded in here. I know I do. And tell us, what have you been working on recently as far as like the music thing besides Nappy Head? You're muted. Unmute.
It's something with his mic.
Yeah, unmute. No, you're still muted. Yeah, we lost you.
You might have to go in and out, Kevin. Yeah.
Yeah. What was that about, Mark?
That's on his side.
I know. Do we have one of Kev's vids loaded in? I know we do somewhere, right?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, thanks. See if you can find it.
I'll see if I can find it. And
Thank
you got
you.
Al's in there as well. I did put that in there. I found
Who's?
Oh,
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I saw, because we're gonna run those in a minute while Kevin's getting it together. But again, I want to just thank everybody just hanging out, because we're sitting here telling stories,
Yeah,
reminiscing, gaining knowledge from Shindig about some of the things that we
Okay.
see, his music. You and Kev?
But you know, Mark, I'm excited about what's coming. I don't know what's coming, but I'm excited about it.
Yeah. It's nice to God let us live to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very exciting to watch what comes down the pike.
Yeah, I'm going to run this real fast while we're waiting, and Kevin come back, get with us. These are some nice things that was sent in to shout out, our anniversary and everything, and we really appreciate you, Cheryl.
What up, my funk family? I want to wish Zach a happy anniversary. You are still grinding with 9 on the Grind TV. You got Mark in the back running the audio, video. I appreciate you guys. I want to make sure I wish you every happy anniversary every year. Cheryl from the Global Dance Ambassador with the funk, wishing you nothing but the funk. Happy anniversary, my friend.
Kev, you back with us?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
What was I saying? I forgot. I asked Kevin something that was really cool too. What did I ask you? Like,
remember we were talking about Sly.
Oh yeah.
And I said, "Have fun in the summertime." That was.
Yeah. The slide thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know what it was. I asked you. I said I was going to ask you what new projects you working on.
Right.
Well, I'm always working on my own stuff. I just finished up a track for Eric J. And he's got that now. So, and it's the usual.
Yeah.
I'm always doing something.
Yeah, maybe y'all could send that to me so this way I can run it on the show next week if it's out. I don't know if it's out. Is it out? Did he put it out yet?
No, he just got it. It's a new track. Now he has some other stuff that we did.
Okay, yeah.
And it's been a while though, because I got caught up in life, so I'm really kind of just getting back to it, And again, while I got you, man, congratulations on another year. I was privileged to be part of that conversation that decided you was going to do it. And
please share, man.
Either I started mine the same year you or the year after, because of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to let you tell the story now that you're here about how we just kind of thought about it, man. So please elaborate and share it, man.
Yeah, I mean, cause then we was talking a lot, and we brought it up, and my thing was like, hey man, why not? You won't know if it's gonna work or not till you do it. I thought right away when you said the concept, I thought that was, I was like, yeah, okay, I've never seen that. So go for it.
Yeah.
And here you are 5 years later.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You know what was cool? I was able to track down brothers like Shindig, track down other people.
Was dope.
And connect. So how do you two guys know each other? How do you and Shindig know each other?
I know of him from the New York scene. I played a lot with a bass player, Paul. They call him Uncle Funky, and he was.
Oh
he
yeah,
was
I know Uncle Funky.
I played with
okay.
I played with Second Step for Out of the Country though. I never worked with them.
Oh,
in
okay.
New York. We worked. We spoke about that before. Mm-hmm.
I just saw Josh 2 weeks ago.
And so yeah,
or maybe a week and a half. He came up here. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. How was Uncle Funky?
I think we're all on like a 3-second delay.
New York.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a delay there and everything.
Oh yeah, there's something happening.
I don't think it's yours, Shindig, but yeah, there's a little bit of a delay.
Is that on my end, Mark?
No, I think it's on Kevin's end.
Okay.
Because I'm using my phone probably.
Yeah, that's probably it because you're using the phone.
No worries, though. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything, man. And like both of you gentlemen are big influences in my life, and I just tell my audience that, and I'm always just happy to share that, man. Mark, do you have something that one of Kevin's been over there? Did you find
I'm
one?
in the process of loading it up right now because I didn't see the original one, but if you give me a minute or two, it'll be up because it's loading
pull it up for me. I'm going to also Al said he had to split. Congratulations. So I appreciate that, man. Thank you, Al. Mad love, bro. I appreciate that, man. And I'm going to be doing some work with him. He's going to be coming with us to Virginia soon. So that'd be mad cool, man.
Exactly. If you want to play,
and a comment from George. Our music is a code that's connected to our culture way back from African ancestors. And that's absolutely right, man. It's absolutely right. What'd you say, Mark?
I was saying if you want to play Al's first, and then by the time you play Al's, Kevin's will be up.
Yeah, run that for a minute, for sure.
Cool, let's do that.
Thank you,
Very
Al.
nice.
We hear you.
Very,
we see you.
very
We all see you, bro. You ain't even got to be here, but we see you. Thank you.
And
Yeah, man.
I did
Like-
want to ones loaded up too whenever y'all want it, which is funky.
Yeah. Run that, Mark. Anniversary month, yo.
One of my favorites from Kevin. Funky
And I can't believe I moved in betwixt all of this and got it done. So God is good, you know. In the new spot, no sweat, cheaper. God literally hooked me up, bros. I gotta tell you, he literally did. You know, I got the notice I had to move on Sunday. I had a place on Monday.
Wow.
24 hours. 24 hours cheaper, all inclusive, you know, just rent. I ain't gotta pay for cable, internet, nothing.
Wow.
Just like that. Just I prayed that night, just like that.
You ready?
Zach,
Yeah,
by
bro.
the way, how is your health?
It's good. I just went to the doctor. All my numbers are good. Yeah, I gotta go
Good.
every 90 days. I go, and I go for blood work
Excellent.
every 2 months. Yeah, so
Great.
you know they're gonna
Good.
be monitoring.
Okay.
Thank you. I've been blessed,
Awesome.
man. I'm all right. I'm all right.
Good. Good.
I'm happy. Happy. Bro. Mark, go ahead and run that, bro.
Yep, ready to run it now.
Thank you. Where's the volume?
There's the volume on that. This did not come down right. Let's see what happened on that. Because the last one.
Where's the
didn't happen.
volume?
Yeah, let's gotta figure out what has the volume didn't come. So let's try it again.
All right, make that right. You teetering on breakfast before.
Yeah, make it right. Keep going.
No, you teetering, bro. You teetering. I had you locked in earlier, so you teetering.
Keep talking. Well, I figure out what's going on over here.
So we were talking earlier, Kev, about the politics of the festivals and things like that, and I also mentioned earlier that some of the artists like Macy and all these guys, a lot of them just stay overseas. Man, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that sounds about right. It's the appreciation of the music overseas, and you know it's been like that for the longest though. I mean, especially in the jazz realm, like bebop. You know, that's what those cats did most of their work at. Was over there. I remember B.B. King saying, you know, most of his audience didn't look like us.
Yep.
He said,
Yeah.
you know, and that was a shame. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, you know, over there they appreciate the music to this day. So I understand. Like even, I would say even with hip hop artists that we consider like the old school, the kids call old school, and they think they're not doing nothing, they all working in Europe. When I used to be on the road, I was seeing, you know, posters and commercials. I was like, oh, okay, this what they doing. They doing they think because those people respect the music. It doesn't matter when they made it. If it was good then, it's good now.
It's very true.
So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's why, you know, before you popped in, you know, we were talking. Mark asked a great question that Shindig answered about unity and coming together and making this new like Woodstock momentum platform kind of thing that we all rushing through and making this new music. So the track that you and I worked on that you know partially produced for me it's got all those elements, and I can't wait for that to, you know, be added to the canvas, man. It's a blessing to have worked with stuff, you know. And we got to get Milo Z because him and I and Shindig are going to try to collaborate, and we're working behind the scenes, I guess, mentally, so we can get in the right space to do something too. So I'm just thinking, bro, we should do like a We Are the World thing, and whatever we call
that'd
it.
be
Right?
that'd be super.
Right?
Yep.
Like everybody just bring a track to this like place or whatever, however, CD, album, whatever, video, whatever, you know. I think that'd be dope because God has us all alive for a reason.
Yep. Well, if folks are ready, we'll go the old-fashioned way since the new-fashioned way didn't want to work. But if Kevin doesn't mind, this is one of my favorites. So let's take that funky, sexy, cool.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Yo, man, that was dope, man. Kevin Harrington Experiment featuring Ray Richardson Jr. Song, funky, saxy, cool. That was dope, man. Thank you for. Oh, let me get. We gotta unmute you. Hold on. I didn't want you on mute.